Emmerdale heartthrob Billy Fletcher was viciously attacked in Thursday night's episode of the ITV soap as part of a new storyline exploring the impact of racism. However, a new theory by express.co.uk suggests he could know the person who set his attacker upon him. Billy, played by Jake Consell, wanted to spend some time bonding with his father-in-law, Will Taylor, Dean Andrews, as the latest episode of Emmerdale got underway, albeit with some encouragement from his wife, Dawn Taylor, Olivia Bromley. What he didn't expect was to end up in hospital with cuts, bruises and broken ribs after newcomer to the ITV soap, Jordan, Jack Parr, beat him to a pulp as part of a racially motivated attack. This is a storyline which is going to leave the village divided as Ethan Anderson, Emil John, takes on the case to defend the attacker from the charges against him. However, having been sentenced to life in prison during last week's episodes, Meena Jutla, Paige Sandhu, could have something to do with organizing the attack. Meena and Billy were once an item, but their romance was short-lived when Billy realized it was Dawn he wanted to be with. The villain orchestrated a whole lot of mischief to try and stop the couple from getting together, including faking a pregnancy and trying to kill them both on their wedding day. Unfortunately for her, she can no longer ruin their lives as she was sent to prison for 75 years for killing 3 villagers during her reign of terror in the Dales. This doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't have contacts on the outside world, and wanting to make her enemies live in misery, she could have contacted Jordan to do her evil doings on her behalf. Jordan could very well be one of the men Meena put a spell on whilst she was on the run from the police earlier this year. Although he wanted to be at Meena's trial, she could have told him to stay away as she didn't want him to get implicated in what should have been her most glorious feat yet. Jordan could have been heartbroken when the verdict was given, meaning he wouldn't be able to see his love interest anymore. However, as possible one of her only visitors, he could have learned more about the people who put her in jail, and he will have wanted revenge. This is when he could have developed a fixation with Billy, and having his own racist views as well as working with Meena, the newcomer could have decided he was going to cause a whole world of pain for the heartthrob. As he was arrested, Jordan didn't get away with his crimes, but showing an interest in Ethan being his lawyer could be another indicator he knows Meena. The villain once manipulated Ethan and his father, Charles Anderson, Kevin Mathieu, to believe her sister, Manpreet Sharma, Rebecca Sarkar, was responsible for pretending to be the lawyer's mother. It wasn't until Meena went on the run they realized the truth, but Ethan had helped Manpreet train to be competent on the stand in court when giving her testimony. This ultimately contributed to sending Meena down for life, as the jury failed to believe the villain's sister was the monster she was painting her out to be. Although Jordan didn't necessarily know Ethan was going to be the duty lawyer, realizing who was representing him could have made the newcomer even more encouraged to keep him on as his legal advisor. Jordan would know Ethan being on the case would cause a huge backlash for him, so is this all part of the newcomer's plan to make the lawyer and Billy's life a misery? As the case continues over the coming weeks, it is going to become a central focus of the drama on the show as more and more characters become involved. However, will anyone realize the attack was racially motivated and was also organized by Meena from inside the prison walls? The actor who plays Ethan, Emil, has recently spoken out on the impact this case is going to have on his character and the rest of the village. Emil explained, Ethan was absolutely not prepared to take on this case. He was enjoying a night in with Marcus, and they were both enjoying a really beautiful spread that Ethan laid out for them. Ethan in this moment feels on cloud 9, he's finally found someone he really likes, and they, in turn, feel the same. You can imagine just how engaged Ethan was in Marcus and the entire atmosphere, so when it was interrupted by an emergency call from work, he couldn't have been more underprepared and devastated to leave Marcus during such a pivotal moment, Emil continued. Ethan is shocked to see that he knows the victim of the attack, and although they aren't friends and haven't spoken much in the past, they are as good as neighbors. Ethan doesn't know for sure that this was a racially motivated attack, and as a lawyer, he can only make use of facts and evidence. Of course, This allegation is going to strike a chord in Ethan as a black man, but he has to remain professional and do away with any personal opinions or feelings he may have so that he may unbiasedly represent his client. But will Ethan be the person who realizes Billy's attack was carried out because of Meena? This is the first time Billy has been central to a storyline on the soap since he was held hostage by Meena on his wedding day. He and his wife Dawn have been enjoying the first few weeks of married life together, but this new storyline is likely to see him in one of the most vulnerable positions he's ever been in. This isn't the first time the show has explored racism in recent years, as when Ethan first arrived in the village, he was racially profiled. After drugs were found near to where he was sitting, the police presumed he had been selling them, and this almost got him into a lot of trouble. Having gone through this and been subjected to racial prejudice in the past, will Ethan continue to defend Jordan, who is possibly working with Meena?